This one's a bit seized.
I think we got a slit. We got Doris here. Doris is a Ford AU Falcon that I bought for a little over $1,000 with a manual transmission and a locker diff. So it's going to be a donor for the R31 Skyline. But first, I want to do the stud event, so we got to get it set up. So now we're going to take the seat out. We've got to take out these screws. I'm not sure you can see them. There's one. That one there, and then two at the front that you won't be able to see. So for any of those that are wondering, they are T50 torque screws here, these ones. You can get them at super cheap. You can get a full kit like this. So now I'm going to take the seats out. See that? Alright, so we've got the seat out. Now the reason I'm pulling the seat out is to fit this seat, this nicer, more racier seat, because this doesn't have any side bolstering, and this thing has side bolstering, just to hold me in while I'm sliding around a track, because yep, I don't want to go out the window. So we are going to pull these out, these Allen keys out. Alright, so we've got the backrest and the actual seat off. Well, we got the seat out, the cushioning. So now we got the bracket here. So now I've got to go take these ones off, and all four of them, and then we'll see if they fit. As you would have just saw, I got the brackets off, and so now I'm gonna see if it fits up to the AU brackets. So after some analyzing, our seat does not fit onto our bracket. Does it, Daddy?
Not even close.
So what's plan B?
Look at it and think about it.
Okay.
1 hour later.
Alright, so one of my other jobs is to mount a fire extinguisher. So then, in case of a fire, I have an extinguisher to extinguish the fire. So it's a huge struggle because this is very thick metal, the floor. I've put a hole through my floor and put a M6 bolt through.
A high tensile bolt?
Yeah, high tensile.
As per specs?
As per specs. And then what I've just done is I've gotten a drill bit that is pretty much the same size as an M6. A stepper drill and just one of these for when you get close, because it's a very sharp and it'll poke right through. And so I've got one in, now I've got to drill the other one. Another one in. And so now, if you want extinguishers, you can get these 1 kilo extinguishers at almost any super cheap order, I'm pretty sure, for like $40. It's very good. And then, I'm not sure we've shown, but
So what are the prerequisites for your fire extinguisher? What do you need to have?
So it's got to be within 3 years, and then the bracket needs to be metal, it can't be plastic. I don't know why. So don't go down in the comments and asking why.
So it doesn't burn when you catch fire.
True.
And because it needs to be strong enough to withhold an accident.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is just a 1 kilo. I think this is powder. So that'll be hard to get off when you put out a fire. As you would have just seen, I successfully drilled through my floor. It doesn't really sound right when I say it like that, but I did. Drilled through. Alright, so we've gone for a drive, we've gotten some tires, and we got some metal here. We've already cut it to size of how big we want it. So now I'm going to do somewhat what I did with the fire extinguisher. I'm just going to get something like this, which might where our holes are. So get it, drill it in there, then I'm just going to step it up with actual drill bits instead of using the step. I can then get it pretty accurate. So we, after some jiggling around and drilling in more cutting, got the seat in. This isn't the final product. We're gonna adjust it just a bit more. We're gonna take it out and we're going to put the proper screws in and stuff. Now what I'm about to do is I'm about to take it out so then I can get some cushioning from the driver's seat from Doris. Put it in the bottom because this thing sinks a bit. It's pretty simple. So that's why this is here, so then it can like sit there and get mocked up. Good progress. So we found out that we had to have 4 working brakes, which on Doris we only have 2 front brakes. When we got it, it was used for burnouts. So we heard about that, and what they did, so they cut off the front brake cable, this one here that goes to the rear. So then we stole one off this car, which is why this one's missing. And so we put it in, tested the brakes went to the floor. So we thought it was all good because it wasn't leaking. Little did we know, there was no calipers in the back. So now we're back down here trying, well, we did pull one caliper off successfully here. So now we just got to go and pull the other side off. And we're going to try and take this brake disc, Daddy. We'll get it off.
The rotors are different between AU1 and AU2.
Okay. Alright, so we've just been to Wreckers and a Super Cheap. So we got calipers, and at Super Cheap we got some .5 brake fluid, penetrating oil, and we also got a brake bleeder. So right now we're putting the AU Series 1 pad onto the AU2 because the AU1 calipers with the pads do not fit AU2 discs because the AU2 discs are slightly wider. Update, Daddy?
Update is this one's a bit seized. You can't get the brake line off the other side. Don't like race cars anymore. That's the update.
So for people who are wondering what's seized, this here, when the cylinder, here, I'll let Daddy explain.
Yeah, so this should be able to slide relatively easily back and forth. But on this one, I can't slide it at all. Neither in nor out.
Race car thing. Go time, baby. We also got a grill. So now I'm gonna put the camera down so I can help him with doing these brakes. We bled the brakes and we discovered that this is sparking when we hit the brakes, which we have no idea why. Do that again? Stupid people.
Yeah.
Later.
Hello everyone. What we did.
It was totally legit. I just put a random bolt through it that fit and grinded the head off because we don't have the proper screws.
And so now I'm gonna screw the calipers back on.
Later.
Yeah, there is sparks on this side as well. Is that good when you put the brakes on?
No, this car was still.
Okay, well it sparks when it's gone pretty fast. I think we got a slit.
In that line.
Yeah.
Come on. Just fucking let go then. So we do have a brake line to go from here to here, but at the moment we've dodged it up from there. So we're going to have to go to town early tomorrow morning. We're going to have to get a rear brake line for between the two and then pull that brake line out and put that one from there to there.
So, I've been grinding since 7 AM in the morning, 5 days, and now we're ready to go to the racetrack.
Let's go racing, kiddo.
So, we're on the road. We didn't do much recording yesterday because we were grinding, but we got the brakes done, we got the wheels on, cleaned out the car, got the seat in finally, and the harness, and now we're on the road to the racetrack.
Here I am doing the side lap of the courses, and as you can see, it is lined with trees, so there is no runoff. There are 2 different courses. Day 1, we run it the regular way. Day 2, we run it in reverse. I have to be honest, I was quite nervous because all the courses were lined with trees. On my first run I was only feeling it out so then I can get used to the track and used to Doris, because Doris is a trayback ute that's actually also an alloy, so that it's really tail happy, which makes it really hard to drive because the back wants to kick out as if Doris is trying to kill me. But the next run I went a tad bit faster. Alright, so it's a bit later in the day and we've made it obviously to the track. I've done a few runs. Our fastest run was like a 2:36, I think. I've had a bit of an accident. I accidentally went off near the official on Bravo, but I didn't have the GoPro in. It's always the runs that you're not recording.
Day 2.
So, as you would have just seen, went out for my first lap. Pretty good. As you saw, I kind of went a bit off track. So while I wait for my turn again, I'm going to take down the tent. And when it's my turn, I'll go up and do it again. starter's starting to mess up. I press the button and it won't start, so I have to fumble with the cabling.
Okay. So there you go. Just keep it going now, mate.
Yeah. Stop. Go. Stop. Button's rooted. It won't start at all.
Put on the clutch.
No, it does work when
There's something loose behind there, though. Yeah, let's bump it. Huh? No, it's a starter. It's a starter button. Sorry? Yeah, it's got ignition. Yeah. So, we're going to push you. Once you start to go, pop the clutch.
once the car's on.
Once the car's moving.
Okay.
In second. Alright, handbrake off. Alright, so once you're moving, then pop the clutch.
Once the car's on.
No, you don't need to do the button. Ready, steady, pop the clutch. Up, and again, maybe go first. Ready, go. That's it, clutch in, back to first.
Event's finished. Had a lot of fun. Did you have fun?
Did. Jaden did very well. So in case he doesn't have footage of all those runs, Jaden consistently got faster all weekend, with the exception of a run where his push button start for his car broke. So by the time he got to the start line, he was a bit frazzled.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He had his first ever bump start. I said, all right, mate, we're just going to bump start it. And he looked at me like, what? I didn't even think that you'd never even been around a car being bump started before.
No.
So that lap was a couple of seconds slower, but he started off doing, I ended up timing for the weekend, so there's not a lot of out of the car footage. Jaden started off, his first lap was a 3:13, and by the end of it he did two 2-minute 22s. One of the 2-minute 22s he got a penalty because he blew through the stop thing at the end, but he's learning how to push hard. And the second fastest driver on the field blew through the garage as well and got a penalty. So plenty of other people were doing the same thing. Beyond proud doesn't begin to explain it. He did so well. He had to manage the car himself as well as the camera and getting himself in line, because I was timing all weekend, so I could run away for kind of a minute at a time, but that's about it. Yeah, there you go, Jade, you keep going.
Yeah, so thank you to all my sponsors.
Both Jaden and I really appreciate the support from everyone. We understand that most people that follow our page aren't interested in motorsport, and the fact that so many of you have gotten behind Jaden and whipped out your credit cards and bought some of his cool shirts and, you know, made all of this happen, you know, we're both incredibly grateful for. It's, you know, Jaden's worked bloody hard to make this happen, not just with his clothing brand and building websites and learning how to use design software and the rest of it, but dealing with customers and dealing with suppliers, and his printer, Known Designs, whose est has been amazing. And then in the past 5 days, he's been laying in the dirt, covered in brake dust and brake fluid and crusty bits of rust. And well, I've had the same thing. I've slaved night and day to get this thing ready for him as well. And despite all the setbacks, Jaden's taken it all in his stride. Become frustrated because, anybody that works on cars knows it's a very frustrating game at times. But no, we're super appreciative of everybody and their support. This I think really probably for me and Jaden cemented, you know, his direction. The fact that he, by the end of it, was faster than I think 5 or 6 of the cars in what is definitely the hardest car to drive on track. Surrounded by trees, there's no runoff, there's no anything. So he goes off, he's going to hit something, and plenty of people did. There were I think 6 or 7 crashes over the weekend. No major ones, but you know, broken lights, broken bumpers, people smashing into barriers. Well, if we include smashing into barriers, there are probably 10. And other than scraping the side of his car on some trees as he was hugging corners, and having one off and losing his bumper as he went over the little embankment, which unfortunately he didn't film that run. So you know, that's it is what it is.
So thanks for watching. We're gonna go unload this car and
Take the trailer back.
Yeah, take the trailer back, drive home and do
Sleep.
nothing.
Sleep.
Do nothing.
Yeah, do nothing. Thanks for watching, guys.
We'll see you in the next one.